My last question, and this is the most learning and the most vital part, and then we'll end this session. And that is, Abhimanyu, I was always behind you saying, Abhimanyu, once you get promoted to junior engineer, when I write your appraisal, I want you, you have done so good. You have made a brilliant ballast water treatment management system report and everything. What a good uh, PPT or thing it was, that it was appreciated even by your college, your company, everyone. You did a fantabulous job. And I wanted to make a very good report of yours. But at the end of the day, I did not do that because I was angry with you with something. I was disappointed in you. I was badly hurt. I want you to share that experience with each and everyone out here with your mic near to your lips so that everybody could hear, and you have to be very, very slow. Very, very slow. Okay, Abhimanyu, please share.
Okay, so onboard ship, there will be a lot of shortcuts that you can take, and but let me tell you that nothing onboard ship, there's nothing that you can do that won't get found out today, tomorrow, or maybe someday. So you cannot hide something, you cannot hide anything on board a ship, because if not today, someday or the other is going to come back. So what I was responsible for was to take all the tank soundings all across the on the ship. So I had a fairly decent idea of how much the tanks used to increase, decrease, and what. So we had this bilge water tank. So I previously I did not trace the lines plane. I did not see where all the water could enter from the bilge water tank. So I only thought that only the bilge wells could be transferred into the bilge water tank. So previously whenever I used to transfer bilge wells and all, I used to take sounding. Maybe at midnight some bilge well alarm came. I used to transfer and I used to make sure that I have transferred and taken sounding. I have noted down the amount water transferred, etc., etc. So as days went by, I became more and more complacent with this concept, and I did not. I used to take shortcuts. I did not take bilge water tank soundings that frequently. So, and I did not know that bilge water tank could increase in some other way too. So whenever I used to transfer bilge wells into the bilge water tank, I used to increase the figure. Some I used to take shortcuts. I didn't. So in the month of August, for when we were in very hot and humid climate, and mind you, most of my sailing we weren't in a very hot and humid climate. So this only happens in hot and humid climate. I think so. So I did not take the bilge water tanks soundings very seriously. Like sometimes I took, and my oilers also took, and the sounding used to increase. And I thought, and I frankly speaking, I pay attention to it. I just let it go. I thought it might be a fault or something. It can't increase like that because it only I'll transfer bilge wells, and that's the only thing. There's no way bilge water tank can increase unless there's a hole in the something. But let's slide. And this I did it quite a few times because this kept on increasing, and I saw, and I don't know for what reason, I just chose to ignore it. I'm like, hoga kuch hoga, it must be false or something. It's not, because it's not false most of the time, and I should have checked it, but I chose to ignore it. And there was a time when we were approaching port, and Barasab told me that please take good proper soundings, and I have to write this oil record book, this that. So then I thought ki let's figure this bilge water tank issue, and let's so every other tank was fine, but this bilge water tank was extremely high, like unprecedentedly high, because like 10 metric tons high. So I thought that again, my main fault was I did not have taken it on myself to just let it slide, or whatever happens, I should have reported to a further, because I have barely any experience on ship. I have like 6 months of experience. There are people who have years and years of experience. They know every and cranny, like why, if something happens, why it happens, and what are the common problems. And me, like an idiot, I chose to not inform anyone for a long time, and that day when I had took sounding, I thought I had to report, because this is something extraordinarily wrong, out of proportion, and this has to be told. So that's when I told chief engineer that the Bill's water tank is actually twice the amount of what we are showing. So that made him very furious, and that is totally grand, because had I been in his place, I would have been equally, if not much more furious, because this is something that he is accountable for, something he is answerable for. Because if something untoward happens, he will be the one answering, and he will go to jail or something if something happens with these marpole sounding. So that was something, in short, what I did. I chose to ignore something, chose to not tell my superiors, chose to trust myself, my intuition, for some reason, more than people much more experienced than me. So
Okay.
complacency, shortcuts, telling lies, I guess.
Okay, I'll put it in a simple way. Guys, first of all, there is nothing such term, agar whatever fuck up was happening over there on board ship, इसमें आप जेल तब तक नहीं जाते हो जब तक आप तेल को बाहर नहीं कर रहे हो. So there was nothing to worry about that, because I was not doing any kind of a MARPOL violation, that is called marine pollution, purposely. First thing. Second thing was, for me it was not a case to worry thinking कि भाई this thing has increased, because this was a normal thing which was increasing in a hot and humid climate. From main engine air cooler drain, water was entering into the bilge holding tank. It was a big tank, so even for the next 20 days also, if the water level would have increased, nothing would have gone wrong. This he does not know, but I know, because it was a huge tank, and we just had what, around 15 cubics of water, and it was 60-meter cube capacity tank. So there was nothing to worry. The point to worry was that my junior engineer, who I had faith in, that I am giving him this responsibility, you owe this, and I have discussed with him everything, I am trained him with everything, and still he chooses to ignore something which is very important for a span of 2 to 3 days continuously, and then he takes it on himself and does not tells it to his senior engineers. Now, this is something where a chain breaks, and this is one small step. Over here, if I do not correct him, he will make a bigger mistake next time. And that was the reason I took this drastic action of not writing something very great in his appraisal. And now he's going to remember throughout his life. Because when you pay for something, then you repay in a better way. Now, so I wanted that thing to be instilled in his culture, and I assure you, abhi puri zindagi Abhimanyu, he will never keep it in himself. If anything happens, he'll straight away come out, because he has lost something very important out there, guys, and that is very important. Chalo, this was something serious. Abhimanyu, so you came back, you had money. What did you do? First of all, kya liya fir?
So मैंने तो मोटरसाइकिल लिया है.
You bought a
और
motorcycle. Which motorcycle did you buy?
KTM RC
KTM. कितने का पड़ा? How much did it cost you?
2 lakhs.
ओ बाप रे बाप. अच्छा 2 लाख की सीधा बाइक लिया है. वेरी गुड भाई, क्या बात.
वही
एंड व्हाट्स गुड अबाउट योर बाइक?
यू सेकंड हैंड, इसलिए कम पर.
अच्छा, व्हाट्स गुड अबाउट योर बाइक?
सर उसका पावर टू वेट रेशियो, मतलब इट प्रोड्यूसेस 43 किलोवाट. 43 किलोवाट फ्रॉम अ मोटर जिसका पिस्टन इतना सा है सर. मैंने उसका पिस्टन देखा है, उसका 400 सीसी है. तो मतलब एक
नाउ
this is like
आवाज नहीं आ रही
something
अभिमन्यु.
of the cylinder. मतलब हाँ, तो मैं कह रहा हूँ कि उसका पिस्टन सर इतना सा पिस्टन है, उससे वो 43 किलोवाट निकाल रहा है. और सर हमारा कंप्रेसर का जो मोटर था वो भी 45 किलोवाट का था. तो आप सोचिए कि इसका मतलब कितना एफिशिएंट है इसका, मतलब इतना छोटा चीज से इतना ज्यादा पावर निकाल रहा है. एंड द एनीथिंग वेज अबाउट 140 kg dry. So it accelerates from 0 to 100 in 5.5 seconds. So this is I haven't done the math, but this is nearly 1 G of acceleration. So for 2 lakhs, 1 G of acceleration, the only other way, you have to jump off a building. और कोई तरीका नहीं है 1 G acceleration.
Now guys, see,
ये उसका प्लस पॉइंट.
देखो मैंने ये क्वेश्चन इसलिए पूछा कि आई कैन मेक दिस आउट दैट Abhimanyu has got a very मतलब he's very inquisitive about automobile engineering still. And Abhimanyu, it's my advice to you, whatever you do in life, do get into automobile someday when you have got good cash, and try to become an entrepreneur, become a job creator, not a job seeker. And this is something which excites you till today. Do something with automobile engineering. I can make that out. This is my advice to you, and I request you as well. because tomorrow you might be able to create thousands of jobs for thousands of people out there. Copied?
Yes.
अरे डन यार, बड़ा सोचोगे तो बड़ा करोगे ना. तो अभिमन्यु,
Oh,
दिस इज फ्रॉम माय साइड.
ये
तो बड़ा सोचो बड़ा करोगे. अभिमन्यु, थैंक यू वेरी मच, थैंक्स अ लॉट, एंड इट वाज रियली
Thank you,
नाइस
sir.
with you. जय माता दी. अच्छा अभिमन्यु, guys, one more thing. Abhimanyu is on Instagram, and those of you who want to know more details about Abhimanyu, कि किस कंपनी में शेयर सेल कर रहे हैं, किस कॉलेज में है, and all those things, he's got a lot of photographs to share as well. Just follow him on Instagram, you'll get a very very good idea. Out here on YouTube, I cannot share much of his details. Thank you very much. Take care, Abhimanyu. Bye. Jai Mata Di. Take care.
Thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Thanks.
Okay. Jai Mata Di, sir. Jai Mata.